Good morning, guys. I'm just going to demonstrate an example of this project where we are creating designs, blueprints essentially that can be laser cut and assembled into a 3D object. The project I'm going to make has a combination of finger joins, box joins, and a living hinge. I'm making a chess box, so the top of it will be laser engraved with the chessboard, and it will open up so that the chess pieces can be grabbed from the center and then put back in place so that chess can be played on the top. And so I'm going to quickly go through how I plan on producing that one. So I'm in AutoCAD. I've already been playing with a few different designs and with a few different designs for my chessboard. And I'm actually going to start drawing that one over here. So again, guys, when you draw in AutoCAD, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you're set up properly for drawing. What I'm drawing is 2D because I'm laser cutting, so I need to make sure that I'm in the drafting and annotation workspace, not 3D basics or 3D modeling. Also, all of the lines that I will be drawing, almost all the lines I'll be drawing will be at right angles, but there will be some hatching for some of my chess squares. So when I set up with my polar tracking, I'm going to set mine up at every 45 degrees it locks in at. Looking at this, I am going to need endpoint, midpoint. I don't need center. Intersection is probably a good one to have, and I don't think I will need any other object snaps to go to. Right, so I'm going to actually start off by actually drawing my chess squares first, and I'm going to build my frame around my chess squares. So each square I'm going to have as being 20 millimeters by 20 millimeters. And I could just have them directly side by side, but I've actually decided that I'm going to join these. I'm going to have a space in between all of my squares. So I'm going to offset this, and I'm going to go 1 millimeter. So that'll be the border. I'll just explode that one now. Good. And now I can go about copying another one. Okay, so this will be my white square. This will be my colored square. I'm going to offset that every 1.5 millimeters will do. Should I do that one? Yeah, I'll do that one too. Then I'll trim everything there and everything there. Now we will copy. No, we're not going to copy it. We're going to mirror all of this to the other side of this. Where's that midpoint? There it is. No, we don't want to delete the original. All right, that's good. And then I think I would like to mirror again. So that's called a hatch. And I'm going to do a double cross hatch there. So that's both sides. All right, so those two squares, which I'm happy with. Now, I'm going to just, now in my chess and checkers board, because this could be either or, there are 8 squares across, which is good. 2, 4, 6, 8, excellent. And then I think I will just copy all of this. and then mirror this one. This time I do want to delete the original one. And then that one can be moved into place there. Okay, so that is almost there. Then I'm going to copy this. Notice how I'm not copying these bottom lines because I don't want to put them over top of these lines here, because that means when they get engraved, it's going to engrave that line twice. And that goes there. All right, so that is one side of my chessboard that's going to open up like a lid. Now, I'm going to have to, so if we have that edge there going up, so I'm just kind of thinking about this as I go. I'm going to join these. That's good. Also going to join just these ones here. Oh, no, can't do that. I don't want to join them all up at the moment. All right. So that is the edge of my board. Drawing a very, very silly, not very good sketch here. So across the middle, it's going to fold up. It's going to fold up there. And right now, and I'm going to have a wall in the side here that's actually going to join on the top and the bottom with some box joins, some finger joins. So I need to create a bit of space there in order for that to be able to happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is offset my sides 3 millimeters. So offset 3, on there, because that's the thickness of my material. And then I may as well do the same thing here, and that can be where my, just extend that another 3, join this up here. All right, and then this here. Go here, excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to start my living hinge. Now I'm going to have my living hinge cover a span of 60 millimeters. So I will just offset this line 60 mils. So my living hinge is going to go between there and there. Now with the design that I demonstrated before, which is this one here, we have a quick look in here. Oh, there we go. The thickness of the actual material, I've got at 1.5 millimeters, and the gap, all of the gaps that get cut out are 1 millimeter thick. On this one here, I've got, as far as points of contact, on one level I've got 1, 2, 3. On the next level up, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact, which means I actually need to divide this into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I go there, and then if I split it in half again, that should work. Okay, so let's go over here. I think I'm going to go from this midpoint, 60. here I'm going to go 60 across to here. Now, how far is that? That is 91 mils. So that's pretty easy. I'll just go 30 mils, 30 and 30 in. Make them 30 mils in, 30 mils in there, and these ones here, mirror to the other side. Okay, so there's that bit there. Now I need to create the thickness for all of this. This is not going to need to be this high. You only need to actually, when you draw this, you only actually need to draw in this layer, and then you just copy and paste all the other ones on top. So I didn't actually need to go that high with those lines there. Okay, so let's offset this 1.5 mils. So it's going to come there. That's going to come in there. This, I'm going to offset that 0.75 mils each side of this line. This is probably the trickiest part of this whole project. If you were to do a living hinge, and it's just lining all this stuff up properly. So I no longer need these center lines. So we're just marking the center points. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to, let's join up, that's already joined. Offsets 1 mil. And then we're going to offset 1.5 mils. So I have a gap. It's going to be a gap there. And so now I need to start trimming. So I want this going through, this going through, and this going through. Which means I've got some trimming to do straight off the bat. So if I trim from here, that needs to be trimmed. That's going through. That needs to be trimmed. That's going through. Let's see. So that's trimmed, that's going through. That's trimmed, that's going through. This will be trimmed. That's going through. And this bit here will be trimmed as well. So I've got my 3 points of contact here. So if we trim again, we're going to trim between these lines here. Okay. One there. One there. And one there. Okay. Let's trim a wee bit more. So we don't need that. This might not make a whole lot of sense at first, but just bear with me for just a minute and you'll see this thing starting to come together. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this bit here. And this bit here. Okay, so on my first layer, it's just not quite big enough. I've got 1, 2, 3 points of contact. On the next layer, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of contact. And on every layer, the points of contact are offset. So you never have 2 points of contact that are directly in line with each other, because then it's not allowing that flexibility in the hinge. Now we've got a gap there, so I've got to offset that gap. It's going to be a 1 mil spacing. And then we've got another 1.5. And then once this layer is drawn in properly, okay, so if we were to trim just everything that goes past there, and that there, and this goes up, and that comes back in, and it's going to go up there. So now I've got to cut this off, and they've got to die. And that bit there is going to go up as well. Okay. This bit here. Needs to be trimmed off here. That one there, that can die, and we'll just close that up. Alright, so this one here has got to look the same as that one there. So I'm going to trim that bit in there, and these bits in here. So that looks the same. Let's see. These bits here get cut off. It just carries across. And then we're going to trim this bits, these bits. This line needs to extend all the way across. Cut that off. And that off there. Okay, so at the moment, I've got 1 crossing, 2 crossing, and then we're back up to that one. So I should be able to delete all of this now. Oh, except that little bit right there, we need that one. And I should even be able to, see if we can go in one closer. No, can't quite. I should even be able to join all of that. Okay, now there's that 60mm line there, so that's where we're going to. Now, I should be able to copy all of that from there, put it there, and just keep on going. Until I get to that 60mm line, which is spot on right there. Now that line can die, and that line's right there. That line can die. So there what I have is I've got half my chessboard, and I've got my first live hinge. Now all I've got to do is come up 1mm. I'm just going to copy that one. And I might even just copy. No, I'll just draw a line up. 30. Yeah, it should just be 30 anyway. Nope, that's not 30. Oh, no, it has to be less than 30. Just So there's my live hinge, and that's going to be cupped around a 180-degree angle. And then I'm going to have a straight piece, which is going to be my floor, and that edge there should be directly underneath this edge here. So then my floor will be that times 2, and then I just need the live hinge underneath it, which should be quite simple. Right, so how long is this one here? This one here is 91 millimeters, which means I need a line that is 182 millimeters long. So 182, that's my floor. Just get in here. 182 again. There's my other floor. And now I just need all of this up top in reverse. So the easiest way to go about doing that would be to take all of this, mirror it. No, don't delete the original. Make sure that all touches. And right now what I have is, actually, you know what? I'm gonna delete these. Whoops. Maybe not. I'll delete them. And in here I'll delete that. That didn't work anyway. Let's rotate this one 90 degrees. So this is the main parts of my chessboard. So this bit here is the base. This is one live hinge, this is another live hinge, and these two bits of the chessboard, they're actually going to fold over and they're going to meet in the center. There are another couple, I've got to draw in some finger joins along here for the walls to slot into place. And I also need to figure out exactly how high it's going to sit so I can cut my walls to the right height. But apart from that, that is the hardest part of this task. Have a look, let me know what you think, and enjoy having a go.